Okay, let's try to go through quickly lecture 9. Okay, before I go into lecture 9 itself, okay, I want to emphasize that the derivation of what you're going to see later, okay, in your lecture slides, you can find from your textbook, okay, your textbook page 158.
Where got textbooks? Yeah.
All the way to
这个我们有吗？没有。Where got textbooks?
166.
是吗？Oh, really?
它有录上啊，没有。
Lagrange? 哪里？ Lagrange?
Okay, as derivation steps are quite long, okay, and even though we are saying from this page to this page, but it's not complete, still not complete yet. The actual derivation is longer than this. Okay? So that's why I do not emphasize too much on lecture 9. Okay, it's too long. Okay, but instead you should focus on lecture 8. That's the reason why I go quite slow in lecture 8. How to derive the 2 degrees of freedom robots calculations. Okay, so lecture 9 is quite long, but I will still go through. I will emphasize on the key concept, the key point. The rest of the mathematics, okay, I will try to go through as much as possible. Okay, and the main focus, I'm going to talk about the last part, the force and the torque. Okay, so this last part of lecture 9, this is important from your exam point of view. Okay, so this one and this one, try to focus on these two. Okay? But I will still go through quickly on this. If you are interested, okay, it's quite interesting, okay, by seeing how we derive for higher degree of freedom. Okay, how do we arrive at the formula? It's quite interesting. If you are interested, you can come and see me anytime. I will explain to you. Okay. Okay, so with that, let's go through the slides for your lecture 9 on multiple degree of freedom robot. Okay, we're going to see how to derive the equation of motion. Okay, okay, first of all, as the degree of freedom increase, the complexity of the equation also increase. So we need to derive a general method how to calculate kinetic, potential, the Lagrangian, and then the derivative. So we need to see what is the general method. So the next couple of slides, we're going to see what is this general method. Okay, let's look at the formula first. For the formula, you have the I and the I. Okay? For xi, theta I. This is for linear, this is for rotational. The I here stands for your link number. Your link number I, either a force or a torque. Okay? And the Lagrangian, no change, still the same formula. So these three set of equations is still the same as before. But we're going to see how to get the equation for each of them. Okay? So to do this, let's do a quick recap. Okay, about the transformation matrix. Let's start from this. Okay, we know for a position of a particular link, okay, is related to a particular point. Let's say this point here is given by x, y, z1 in your matrix, and this is with respect to the fixed frame. For the Ri here, this is a particular point along the link I. And then This is with respect to a moving frame given by this transformation matrix UTI here. Okay? So the UTI here is similar to your matrix A that we have seen before. If I is equal to 6, so you will have A1, A2, A3, all the way to A6. And they are given by this transformation matrix here. Okay? How do you get this canonical matrix? This is from lecture 5, the DH representation. Okay, we are going to make use of this, trying to relate at a particular point now. A particular point is space with respect to the fixed reference frame. And that point is given by Ri. Okay? And Ri is with respect to the moving frame NOA, and that will be transformed with respect to the fixed frame using the transformation matrix UTI. Okay? This is just a quick recap of how you come up with the kinematic equation. We're going to use the same type of notation when we talk about the kinetic energy and potential energy for one particular point on the link. Okay? Okay, let's look at the slides here. Kinetic energy, you have one linear part and one rotational part. Okay, we talked about this just now in the previous example. And we are going to see how do we get the velocity of a particular point R on the link I. Okay? So to get the velocity, we have to differentiate the position with respect to time. Okay? And then Pi here, you substitute with this UTI Ri. And then for UTI Ri, if we take out the Ri, the UTI can be given by differentiating the transformation matrix with respect to each of the joint Qi. Okay? And then multiply by dQi dt again. Okay? Okay, I will just, instead of going through, okay, I will show you the detailed steps from the textbook. Okay? So hopefully from there you will get a clearer picture, okay, of the whole derivation itself. Okay, this is extracted from your textbook. So we start from the kinetic energy formula, then we talk about the velocity of a particular point, okay, on the robot link type. Okay, your UTH that we talked about just now is given by the multiplication of all the transformation matrix, okay, with respect to the reference frame. Okay. Sometimes we put this U, sometimes we call it R. Okay, they are the same. Okay. For a 6-axis robot, 0T6 will give you the multiplication of A1 to A6. Okay. Okay, the first thing is now we want to derive, okay, derive the AI for a revolute joint with respect to the joint variable theta I. In other words, you want to get this. And matrix A is given by this general matrix, canonical form matrix. So when we differentiate with respect to theta I, we get this result. Okay, so once you get this result, we can show that this result is equivalent to a fixed matrix Q. I here, this is a fixed matrix, multiplied by your original matrix AI. Okay, and this is your theta AI over theta I. In other words, if you go through the derivation here, we can show that the d delta ai over theta I is equivalent to a fixed matrix multiplied by ai. It is simplified to this. Okay? So that is for a revolute joint. How about a prismatic joint? We can also do the same thing. Okay, we can do the same thing to show that this relationship is also true. Okay? So the only difference is for revolute joint, this is the matrix Q. For prismatic joint, this is the matrix Q. Okay? They are all constant matrix. Okay, why do we want to go through this? Because we want to derive a Uij here. Uij is the derivative of the transformation matrix Ti with respect to one joint at a time. So Uij is delta Ti over delta Qj. There's an I here, there's a J. Okay? And T is given by the multiplication of all these matrices. And then at particular point, delta Aj over delta Qj. Just now we have seen that this is equal to Qj Aj. So we just substitute here. The rest of the A terms, you can treat it as a constant. So they will just remain. But what is difference now is we substitute Qj Aj for this particular term. And this term, okay, we call Uij. Okay, this is quite similar to the Jacobian. Let's recall. For Jacobian matrix, we are trying to say that is the derivative of the function with respect to one of the joint at a time. Okay, we have seen this in the Jacobian matrix, where we try to take the derivative of the function with respect to one of the joint one at a time. Why we have to do this? Because just now from the previous topic, we know that the function here, now instead of f, this is the function of the transformation T. Okay, so the transformation matrix Ti here with respect to each of the joints. In other words, the transformation matrix is contributed by all the joints, the effect of all the joints. You have to know each of them individually. So we are going to call this term Uij when we talk about equation of motion. Okay, so you just remember Uij is something like the element inside the Jacobian matrix. But this is not about Jacobian, this is about the equation of motion. Okay? Okay, so that's how you understand about Uij. And if the result of Uij, I take another derivative with respect to Qk, another joint k, then the result will be called Uijk. So what does the Uijk means? Okay? So basically, each of them, okay, you're going to see the U here is going to give you the matrix Dijk. The D is the inertial matrix that you see just now for the 2 degree of freedom robot. So in this case, the I here stands for the effect of other joint. And what are the other joints? Joints J, K. So these two joints will have an acceleration at joint I. Okay? So why we have to calculate Uij, Uijk, because later on we are going to calculate the matrix for the inertia D. And D is caused by the coupling effect of all the other joints to the current joint. That's why we need to have this variable called U first. Later on, you're going to see how do we get the inertial matrix. Once you get the inertial matrix, the 4 different inertial matrix, then we can come out with the equation of motion. Okay? Okay, so let's continue here. Okay, then let's talk about the velocity of a particular point I. So if we substitute u inside, now this velocity is expressed in terms of u. There's a u variable here. Okay? And bear in mind, this is only for a particular point in the link. So if you want to find the kinetic energy of one element of mass mi, now the mass will come in. Okay, kinetic energy is talking about mass, talking about velocity. Okay, so with respect to the mass, okay, is equal to this term here. Okay. Okay, this term here is similar to R, okay, mv squared. Your m is here, your dm, because you take the derivative here. Your v is given by this term. Okay, in 3-dimensional, 3D, or rigid body, the matrix become a tensor. Okay, I will not go into the details of the mathematics. Okay, it's quite complicated. But if you are interested, okay, we can discuss about this. But bear in mind, now it is 3-dimensional. So you have the x, you have the y, you have the z component. So all the magnitude, you take the square. So the sum of them will be your v squared. Okay, and these 3 element here, these 3 components here, if we put in matrix form, okay, v squared is given by v multiplied by vt, v transpose. Okay? V multiplied by v transpose. V is given by this matrix, vt is this matrix. So when you multiply them, you're going to see the diagonal elements. The sum of them is given by the trace of a matrix. Okay? This formula is also given in the handout in the first lecture when I saw you. Okay? I give you a write-up about the basic matrix manipulation. Refer to the formula for the trace of a matrix. Okay? So basically it's the sum of all the diagonal elements. So we are going to replace VVT with the trace, okay? The trace of VVT here, okay? So that's why you start to see a trace with a big bracket term here, from here to here. This trace here is the trace of V multiplied by V transpose. And why we get V expressed as this? This is given from the previous page. Okay? The previous page where we mentioned about the sum of this. Okay? The sum of this is equal to this. Okay? Okay. So that's how you get the kinetic energy of a particular mass element. Okay? So once you get this, to sum up the whole kinetic energy for the whole link, you have to integrate the dki. And you sum up all the points, then you get this answer here. Okay, take note, you have rearranged the term, the u and the u, you put to these 2 sides, and then you group the integral term by what we call pseudo inertial matrix. Okay. And for this definition of pseudo inertial matrix, there's a bit of manipulation here in the textbook. If you are interested, you can go through. I know most of you, okay, will be interested only in those that will come out now. From the noise, I can tell already. So I would want to spend too much time to bore you with this. Okay? If you are interested, you can go through the textbook again. Okay? I just want to show you, okay, the final kinetic energy formula, okay, which is this equation here. Okay. In this equation, you have the trace of this multiplication of this string matrix, the other two Q dot term. Okay, so you start to see the cross coupling terms. Joint velocity. Okay, you start to see already. This one, if you still can recall, this is the Polaris term. Okay, for the kinetic energy. Joint number 1, joint number 2. Okay. So the format is similar to what we have seen in the 2 degree of freedom robot. Okay. If you want to take into account the actuator kinetic energy, the ACT stands for the actuator. So you use the same formula, okay, you add to the previous equation. So this will be the final equation for kinetic energy. Okay? Okay, why I have to go through all this? If you want to specialize in robotic field, you must know this equation. If you don't know this general equation, there's no way you can design a robot manipulator. So a robot designer must know all these equations. If you talk to the people in this field, when they show you this formula, at least you know what is this formula about. Okay? If you want to specialize in this field, my advice is go through all these mathematics. It will help you a lot. If you are furthering your study or you work in a research company, you need to know all this so that it won't be strange to you in the future. But for those of you who just want to have a pass, I think this is not so important. Okay, Okay, for the potential energy, it's quite straightforward using the MGH. The H is given by this position matrix, and then the potential energy is quite straightforward. Okay? Then you can calculate the L, the Lagrangian, okay, using K minus P. Then you will get this equation. Okay, like what I say, this derivation up to this stage is still not complete because you have to differentiate all the Lagrangian terms with respect to the individual variable, joint variables. Because of that, you can refer to some other textbook. In your recommended textbook, it doesn't show you the complete derivation. But it only shows you the final equation, Ti equal to this. This is the final general equation of motion for any degree of freedom robot manipulator. So when you see this equation, okay, if you work in this field in the future, then you know what is this. Okay? And why you are seeing the trace term, the U term, the J term, what does each of them mean, you have to understand. Okay? But I just show you this is the final robot equation of motion. Okay? If you are interested, each of them, okay, you can express in terms of this type of complicated, many quite tedious. For each of the joint, you have to do this calculation. Okay? So for joint number 1 to joint number 6, joint number 1, joint number 2, all the way to joint number 6, you have to do and derive this formula. And the D here, as I mentioned, is given by the U term. if you understand the U term, you will understand all the different D with different number here. For example, the D612. What does the D612 mean? It means the inertial term at joint number 6 caused by joint number 1 and joint number 2. Okay, this is how you understand the number for the individual D matrix. The D matrix is the inertial matrix. Okay, like what I said, if you are interested in this, you can go through up to page 166. Okay? So your textbook has quite a detailed explanation of each of them. But I'm going to focus on the last part for your exam sake. I'm going to focus on the last part, and that will be talking about the static force analysis of the robot. Okay, I'm going to go back to your slide again. So, all the explanation from the textbook, basically you can go through all these slides. All these slides, they only show you some intermediate result. It's not detailed. For detail, you have to refer to your textbook. Okay? And this is where we stop. Okay? The final equation of motion, you have the three types of D terms. Okay, and they are related to the centripetal and Coriolis. And what does the IGK mean? I already done the explanation just now. Okay, if you want, you can just copy down this point. This is an important summary of what does D term means. Okay, basically it says that the interaction effect at the motion of joint J and joint K on joint number I. Okay, so it's a coupling effect from joint J and K on joint I. Okay. So this is the essential concept here. Okay. Okay, can. Okay, Okay, I need to go to the last part, the static force analysis. Okay. Okay, let me try to do it within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, by the way, later on, Miss An Wei Hong, she'll be here and ask you to do the survey for Dr. Alfred Tan. Not for me. So I know some of you do for me, do for Dr. Tan, but because it's quite messy, so she will come again later before 11 to redo the survey for Dr. Alfred Tan. Okay? The survey for me will be done next week, Wednesday. Okay, done? Okay, let me go through this part, static force analysis. Okay, this is an important part. Okay, I think I will, instead of using the slides, I will just do it. Okay, first of all, for static force analysis, if we want to analyze static force on the end effector and the joint. Okay, how do we define the variable for each of them? Okay, first of all, we know that a work done, the definition of work, Okay, let's go back to a bit of physics again. The unit is Newton meter. Means you have a force and you have a perpendicular distance to the force. So when you multiply the two of them, that will give you a work. For example, you are trying to push an object using force 1, and the length of the slope, okay, let's say is L1. Okay, versus now a less steeper slope. This is F2 and the length is L2. Okay, I want to define the concept of virtual work. Okay, this is about basic mechanics again. The concept of virtual work says that the work done, okay, is F1 and the distance is L1. You move a distance of L1. This one, F2, you move a distance of L2. They are equal. The amount of work done is equal. But you compare force 1 and force 2. Which one is higher? Which one more difficult? 1. When this is higher force required, means lesser length. When you require lesser force, the distance will be higher. But the net effect of the work is still the same. This concept is called virtual work. So we are going to apply this concept on the concept of end effector and the joint. We are going to relate the joint and the end effector. Okay? So for the end effector, the force that we call is called HF. Okay? And HF is given by 6 elements. F, X, Y, Z, and X, Y, Z. The F stands for linear force. The M stands for moment. Moment about axis X, Y, and Z. Okay. For the joint, I'm going to call it T. The joint forces and torque. Same thing, you have 6 elements. T1 all the way to T6. So if we apply the concept of virtual work, delta W. Okay, so we say that HF, the F1 here, multiplied by the distance, HD. Remember D stands for differential motion of the end effector. We are going to use back the same matrix D a bit. But now it's force multiplied by distance. So this is done at the end effector. This is equal to the work done at the joint T. Sorry, there is a transpose here. There is a transpose here. Multiplied by D theta. Okay. So basically, we just apply the concept of virtual work on the robot joint and the robot end. That's how we come up with this equation. And this equation is what is being shown in your lecture slides. Okay? Okay, just a side note. DH, give me another 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, the DH here is given by 6 elements. okay, the differential motion of the n effector. And the d theta we have seen before is given by d theta 1, d theta 2, all the way to theta 6. We have seen this before in the previous lecture about the Jacobian. Okay? Okay, the result of this multiplication of the virtual work delta W here is going to be a scalar quantity, just a single number. That's why we have a transpose here, we have a transpose here. Because work done cannot be a vector, it must be one single scalar value. That's why we have to put the transpose here. Okay? Okay, so if you understand this, okay, we'll continue with the lecture slides. Okay. So here, I'm going to substitute h here with h j d theta. This is equal to h d. Remember in lecture 6 and 7, we talk about this definition of d with respect to the n factor. Okay, that is where the Jacobian come in. And then this is equal to the previous formula. Okay, then I'm going to make use of some matrix property. C transpose times B transpose equal to A transpose. And A is equal to B times C. Okay, refer back to the basic maths handout that given to you in the first lecture. Okay, refer to that. If you go through some manipulation, I just want you to know the last formula. This is the important formula. Okay, the joint torques, the T stands for the joint torques and forces, equal to the transpose of the Jacobian matrix with respect to the n effector, multiplied by the n effector force and torque with respect to the n effector. This is an important formula, okay, from your exam point of view. But you must know which is which. This is n effector, this is for the joints. And they are again related by the Jacobian matrix. So you can see the usefulness of the Jacobian matrix. Okay, if you are interested in the detailed derivation steps, okay, you can have a look for me. I will go through again. Okay, I just want to mention the last part, the last slide. Okay, the last part is just trying to talk about transformation of forces between different frames. It can be any two frames. Okay, again, if you look at the previous formula is T equal to J H, okay, and F H. This is the previous formula. Okay. You compare this previous formula. One is with respect, okay, to the reference frame, okay, at the left hand side. At the right hand side is with respect to the n effector frame. But now for any two frame, let's say frame B, with respect to another frame, it can be fixed reference frame, it can be n effector frame, doesn't matter. It can be any two joint. If you want to convert between the two joints, again the formula is quite similar. Okay. So this is you can look at example 4.9, 4.10. The first handout that I given to you also. Okay, that two example will show you how to do the calculation for this part. Okay, don't worry so much. Okay, during the revision class, I will run through one example. Okay. okay, not past year exam question with you, okay, regarding this topic. Okay. Okay, so these are the important formula that I want to mention. Okay, there's a key here. I'm supposed to here. Okay, so I will leave the rest of the time to this time. Okay, so I will see you next Wednesday. Okay, thank you.